Hi everyone, I'm Navila Zaman and today we are going to learn cells of O-level biology. This is the first chapter of the O-level syllabus and I hope that this lesson can be interesting. So let's start. In our previous video, we learned that all typical cells have cell surface membrane, which is basically a partially permeable membrane that allows certain substances to enter and leave the cell. Cytoplasm is the area where all the chemical reactions take place. Nucleus contains DNA and it controls the cell. Mitochondria is an organelle where aerobic respiration happens. And ribosome makes protein and can be found floating within the cytoplasm. Today, we are going to learn about the differentiation of cells. So differentiation is the process in which a cell becomes specialized for a specific purpose. When new cells produce after cell division, they may change and develop into new tissues. This process of change is called differentiation. So specialized cells are those which have developed certain characteristics in order to perform particular functions. Now let's look at some examples. Now this is a root hair cell. It is a differentiated cell or it is a specialized cell. Now being the root hair cell long and narrow, the root hair cell increases the surface area to volume ratio of the cell for efficient absorption of water and mineral salts from the soil. So this means that this particular cell has specialized itself so that it can absorb more water and mineral salts from the soil. This is an example of a red blood cell. The red blood cell contains a red pigment which is called the hemoglobin. This cytoplasm here contains the hemoglobin, enabling the cell to transport oxygen from the lungs to all parts of the body. This cell has circular biconcave shape so that it increases the surface area to volume ratio. As a result, oxygen can diffuse into and out of the whole cell at a faster rate. And that is why the red blood cell has specialized itself so that it can perform this specific function of transporting oxygen from the lungs to all parts of the body in a faster rate. Next, we are going to talk about the last portion of this chapter, which is tissues, organs, and system. Now, what is a tissue? A tissue is basically a group of cells which have a common origin and a similar structure, which enables them to perform a particular function. So basically, a tissue is just a group of cells which perform a specific function. For example, we have the muscle tissue or we have the epithelial tissue. Now, the epithelial tissue is just a sheet of cells which covers both the internal and external surfaces of the body. Other examples of tissues can be nervous tissue, glandular tissue, and not only in animals. In plants, there are also different types of tissues, for example, wood, phloem, cambium, cork, etc. Now, what is an organ? So, different tissues may be united together to form an organ. An organ is basically a structure which is made up of different tissues. Made up of different tissues working together for a specific function. For example, our stomach is an organ whose function is to store food temporarily. Digest and churn it. A leaf is also an organ which performs photosynthesis in plants. Now, what is an organ system? Several organs working together for a specific purpose or a special purpose make up an organ system. For example, in our body we have the digestive system, the respiratory. In our body we have the digestive system, the respiratory system, the nervous system, etc. And all these various systems in our body working together constitute our entire body, or the various systems working together constitute our entire body, which makes up an organism. And that was the end of chapter 1 of O Level Biology, that is the chapter cells. Thank you so much for being with me throughout these two videos. I really hope that you enjoyed it and learned something from it. From the next video, we are going to start diffusion, osmosis, and active transport, which is the second chapter of O Level Biology. Thank you so much for being with us.